sometimes like blocks. Today's a class where there's some places where you could use them. They're not really required. It's mostly to help you reach downward. And so if you're grabbing a block, put it up toward this top right edge of the mat. So it'll be there when we have some spots where we could use it later. And so let's make our way down all the way onto our backs. Just letting a couple of good deep breaths flow into the body and back out. And just let this breath flow for a little while we begin to connect with our intention for today. Our intention is, from the yoga philosophy, there's a word called Aparigraha. And this means non-clinging or non-grasping. And so specifically, we're thinking today of our identity, trying to not grasp so much on what our identity is. Oftentimes, at least in our culture, when you first meet somebody, the very first thing that you ask each other is, what do you do? What are you? What is it that occupies your time? That's one of the biggest aspects of identity that we have in our culture. It's like, I'm a singer, I'm a writer, I'm a scientist, I'm a, and you insert your blank there. But the thing about any identity that we can take on is that it's limiting. When somebody sees you as just that, they don't see you for the million other things that you can do and that you like to do. And it also doesn't include anything that we might become in the future. And if you think about it, the more we try to define who we are, the more we're limiting ourselves, because who we truly are is undefinable. And so with these thoughts in our mind, we're trying to loosen that grasp of the ego a little bit today, trying to work on that non-clinging, that aparigraha. And so if there's any specific aspect that you'd like to, loosen your grip on, that's fine. We're just overall trying to transcend the ego just a little bit. We do need the ego to exist, but ultimately it does limit who we are. And so trying to loosen it up a little bit so that we can see beyond that also. And so that's our idea that will get us started today. Let's take another huge breath into the belly. A beautiful, relaxing exhale. And then from here, let's bring the knees in toward the chest. Just taking a couple of brief moments for this area. Rocking around just enough that we can start checking in with our hips. Go into a simple leg stretch. So dropping left foot down, right leg stretches up to the sky. Hands help to pull this leg in, just a simple little grabbing, lengthening, and inviting inward. Maybe a few ankle rolls. Maybe tugging in just a bit deeper. And then just like our idea, we let go. Letting this leg drop all the way down. Second leg floating up. Grab on just to help. Just like that ego grabs onto things to help us navigate through life. And feel this leg extending, feeling it grow because of the help. Feel that leg lengthen, the heel reaching higher. Trying to contract through the quad so that the hamstring gets extra length going on. Seeing if you can maybe do a few ankle rolls, loosening that up. And then tug the whole leg in just a bit deeper. Another wonderful breath in. With our exhale, we completely release this leg down. Both legs go long. We're going to take the shape of a banana. So arms right up overhead, hold on to the right wrist. The shoulders start to wiggle off the left edge of the mat. Right ankle over, legs all the way off that left edge of the mat. So it's like a huge banana. Both hips are connected to the earth, both shoulders connected. And we're letting ourselves stretch up and over, extending our possibilities, extending that length of the entire right side. Keep the breath flowing. Another wonderful inhale. And exhale, we begin to release. Return yourself long through the center, just stretching arms up overhead like normal. Second side, left ankle over, legs to the right. Holding on to left wrist, arms to the right. Huge banana shape, getting the side body stretch. There's a couple of patterns you'll begin to find through class today. Stretching the side body like this is one of our patterns. We're going to include it in quite a few poses today. And taking a figure 4 stretch for the hips is another pattern you'll begin to see shortly. So just enjoying another deep breath, nice and passive stretch over to the side. With our exhale, return long back onto the mat. Huge chest to stretch. The abdominals are stretching, the body is long. Take another beautiful inhale. Exhale, rolling all the way up, the hands lift, the shoulders lift. Try to go nice and slow. Spine coming up tall, and then stretching over the legs. Take another good inhale, feeling the length from the low back. Exhale, see if you can release just a little bit more. Good work. Starting to roll the spine up. We're taking that first figure 4 stretch, just a nice seated version. Left foot is planted, right ankle comes up, and you take any version that works for you. Leaning back and just placing the ankle up could be tons of stretch for you. So this is perfectly fine. Maybe right hand goes to that right knee, helping to invite it to open. Maybe you start to scoot that left foot in to steepen the angle. And sometimes there's 1 or 2 people who are able to completely rise up, clasp the hands all the way around that leg, just to kind of find a balance here. Leaning forward even deeper. Another huge inhale. And exhale, this right leg is stretching up to the sky. Hands can be on the foot or the ankle or calf. Let it lengthen high, lifting it all the way up. Another breath in. Exhale, set this foot down. Left ankle up onto right thigh. Again, you can lean back, you can push. You can scoot the right foot in or find that clasp all the way around. inhale. Good exhale. Let this leg lengthen up high, holding on to whatever you can still reach. Try to lift it even higher, trying to straighten the spine even more. Pull the leg in, another breath. And resume just a simple cross-legged position. From here, side body stretch, right hand plants, left hand begins to lean. You're allowed to bend the right elbow down, but make sure you don't lift left hip off the ground. So stretching over, stack the shoulders as if you're placing your spine right up against a flat wall behind you. Gazing up if that's comfortable. Another huge breath in. And exhale, rise up, switch sides, lean over to left. You don't have to rush your way into it. Let your muscles start to relax through this really long side body lean. Shoulders go backwards. Really good chance to open and to be. Exhale, rising up. From here, let's take our way onto a kneeling position, cat-cow. Exhale, vertebrae rounds up to the sky. Inhale, belly down, gaze up. Huge breath cycles for the body. How deep can we inhale? How slow and long can we exhale? Realizing that with any inhale, we take that into our body for a time. With any exhale, we release it from the body. That's the natural rhythm and flow of life, is taking it in and release. Not becoming attached to it. It's like, imagine if any food that you took into your body, you completely attached yourself to it. You never released it. Well, in that case, not only would it become stagnant and probably start, I don't know, molding in your body or something, but it would make you heavy. The not being able to release it is not helpful. Let's go 2 more breaths, all the way up, maybe higher, and all the way down. And 1 more. Beautiful. From here, let's make our way all the way down onto the ground. The arms extending forward. We take a swimmer type of position, just gently strengthening the body. The right arm and the left leg float up and release down. Second side, left arm, right leg, and down. And just keep on switching. It's almost like we're slowly climbing something, like a little bug or something. Just lifting up, feel that squeeze of the back, the squeeze of the glute, and the lowering. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Hands come backwards. We try to reach for our feet, setting up for bow pose, upward facing bow pose. And so with this one, once you have that clasp of the feet, we're going to take a huge inhale to rise and then stay. So the gentle rocking with your breath. You're able to lift up just a little bit higher with inhale. With exhale, there's a slight release. By the way, if you can't reach your feet, just float your arms behind you and still let your back muscles lengthen and strengthen. Try to keep the knees slightly squeezed inward. 3 more breaths. Huge inhale. Exhale. 2, 1. Good. As you completely release, drag the hands in under the shoulders. Let's press our way up, sitting our hips back, taking a nice chance to be in a child pose. Forehead completely resting down. Feel all the muscles just relax and surrender. Not needing to hold on to anything any longer. Starting to walk the hands over as far as you can reach to the left. We're taking another one of those long side body stretches. Oftentimes I like to even place my right hand on top of the left hand, helping it to inch that last bit further, getting the deepest stretch possible. Good. As you start to release, walk all the way over to the right side now. Maybe left hand can plant on top of right hand at that farthest reach, and then completely relax. Head trying to melt downward to the ground again. As you return back onto the mat, let's take a downward facing dog. Starting to plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift the hips, lifting nice and high. Take some time to wiggle out. If you're like me on Monday mornings, it might be one of the tightest mornings of the week, just because I usually take Sundays off from my yoga practice. And so the muscles are like, okay, let's get back into this routine. So work with patience, lots of kindness. Hips lifting up super high. From here, let's begin to float the right leg up as high as you possibly can reach it. Take another inhale. Exhale, curl that knee into the chest, rise up to step the foot immediately in between the hands. Back knee drops down. We're sinking the hips forward, trying to bring hands up to the thigh. So from here, this is that place where we can begin to use the block. If it's helpful, we're going to try to aim the right fingers to the ground or the right fingers to that block so that we can lean all the way over with that left hand up and over, leaning to that right side. So again, block is perfectly fine. Maybe a little tiny stack of books. Otherwise, trying to aim the right fingertips to graze the ground so that we can stretch up and over, long, over to this right side. Hips sinking forward the whole time. Let's take a few more steady breaths. One more good inhale. Exhale, start to bring this hand down. The front leg works its way a bit more straight. Once it's straight, we begin to lean our torso forward toward that leg. Getting a stretch up and through that hamstring. From here, bring both hands to the inside of that foot, walking the fingertips as long away as your back can help you reach. And then from here, without letting the hips adjust, try to just walk your fingertips leftward. So getting a little bit of that side body stretching, kind of away from the hip direction. Good. Walking back forward, we're aiming to plant both hands up toward the top of the mat. We're gradually stepping this front foot back, taking a plank position, kneeling plank or full plank. We squeeze the elbows in as we slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Let the hands float above the ground. Let's do 10 lifts. So inhale, the back muscles and the legs lift. Exhale, lower. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Pressing up into the back bend of your choice. It can be a simple Sphinx, maybe all the way up toward a Cobra. Enjoy an extra inhale. And exhale, let's make our way back up into our downward facing dog shape. Lifting up nice and high. Again, feel free to pedal things out for a moment. Begin to let this left leg float all the way upward. Long reach, another inhale. Exhale, it's almost like a slow motion step through. The knee comes in. We launch it all the way under and through. We drop the back knee down. If you use that block or your prop before, bring it over to this left side. Hand up to the thigh so that the spine can be stacked. And then fingertips on that, left fingertips on that block. Or left fingertips aiming toward the ground. Right arm reaching up and over. Remember, hips are still pushing forward. Take another good breath into your body. With your exhale, we're gradually dropping that right side down. The leg works its way towards straight. And then our spine gets this chance just to stretch up and relax over. Fingertips are beginning to work their way long, as far forward as you can reach. Once they're long, both hands to the inside of the foot. Start to work your hands walking over toward this right direction. Just kind of inching it as far as you can reach without our hips actually having to open to the side. So feel that long side body, adding a whole different dimension to this stretch. Returning back forward, step the foot back, kneeling plank or full plank. Squeezing the elbows in, slow motion lowering all the way down to the ground. This time, our hands are going to be on the floor like a tent, a nice tented shape. All the fingers are touching. They're on the floor close to your hips as far back as your straight arms can reach. Our fingertips are glued to the ground and our toes are glued to the ground. With our inhale, we try to lift our spine up as far back as it can reach, and then slowly lower down. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Try to get even higher each time, even if it's just a millimeter. Here's 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, try to lift a little bit longer, holding. Feel your breath rock you slightly up and down. Another huge inhale. Exhale, hands slide in right under the shoulders, maybe Sphinx pose or maybe full Cobra. Another good inhale. Exhale, start to travel back up, downward facing dog. Seeing if the hips can lift even higher than before, adding more flexibility the more we repeat this beautiful pose. Another wonderful breath into the body. Exhale. Inhale, right leg floats back up to the sky. Exhale, step that right foot in between the hands, dropping down onto the back knee, at least to start off with. We start to work our hands back up to the hips, pushing the hips forward. And this time we aim for a twist. So we're aiming the left wrist for the outside of the right thigh. If you can slide all the way down to the elbow, then your hands can come together in prayer position. The top hand pushes down so that instead of the sternum being close to the thigh, the sternum is able to lift and twist. Maybe gazing up to the sky. Now again, if at any point you feel like your balance is doing okay and you want to challenge, your option is to tuck the back toes, the left toes, and lift that back knee up, rising up into this high lunge shape. Let's pause for a few more breaths. Keep the breath flowing. Huge inhale. Exhale to release. One more good breath in. A good exhale. And then from here, allowing the back heel to stay lifted, we're dropping the hands down and helping this front leg go toward straight. So it's just a little bit different than pyramid pose in that the back heel may not be all the way down, kind of halfway down into a split. If you need to grab your block and lift your way up a little bit higher, that support could be absolutely wonderful. Even placing it right under the calf for both hands to balance with. If the floor is working for you, just keep on engaging this leg, squeezing through the quadricep muscle so that the hamstring gets a chance to lengthen. Imagine that the whole spine gets to lengthen also. We're not just sacrificing our posture down significantly. Instead, we're trying to find length forward. Good inhale. Exhale, we begin to make our way down, planting the hands, step this leg back, kneeling plank or full plank. Once again, rock forward, squeeze the elbows in, slow motion lowering down to the ground. This time from here, we press into the ground, spine lifting up toward cobra or halfway there, whatever feels good for that low back. And we're going to try to be like a rocking horse, where we lift up our hands and our back tries to maintain this curved shape. And so we rock and then we catch our hands back down. Now, if you're a guy, maybe only do this once or twice, kind of be gentle with yourself. But let's try to aim for 5, maybe 6 more times. So rising up, take an inhale, exhale, lift the hands and then catch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Pause in the back bend, gaze over one shoulder. Gaze over the other shoulder. Good. Child pose or downward facing dog. Lifting up nice and high. If you're not up and down dog, lift up to that shape. And then left leg floats all the way upward to the sky. Take another inhale. Exhale, step that foot in between the hands, dropping the back knee down to start off with. Hands up to the thigh, high kneeling position. Hips pushing forward, knee not going past toes. And we start to aim for the twist. Again, if you need the block, Maybe you're just resting your fingertips on the block as the wrist just barely gets past that left thigh, opening up the other arm. If you can get the right elbow past the knee, hands can come in prayer position. Again, sternum isn't kind of dropping toward the left thigh. Instead, the top hand pushes down. This lifts the sternum and allows you to twist the sternum, maybe gazing up to the sky. Hips still trying to sink forward. We're here a few more breaths. Maybe the back knee can lift by this point. Inhales, we're taking freshness into the body. Exhale, release all of it. Letting go, not staying attached to it. Another inhale. And with this exhale, begin to unwind the hands, lift the back knee up if it hasn't already. And we're trying to work this left leg towards straight knee. You need that block to help you out, lifting higher, that's great. Maybe block under the calf with both hands on it. Or maybe you're easily reaching the hands to the ground. Any of these options are perfectly welcome. Finding length, not only through the hamstring, through this part of the leg, this bottom section, but also finding length all the way from the hips to the shoulders. More breaths flowing in the body, relaxing out. Good. Planting our hands, step back, kneeling plank or full plank. Slow motion, lower all the way down to the ground. Back bend of your choice, Sphinx or Cobra. This time, we just let our head relax forward, getting a nice chance to stretch through the neck area. Shoulders pressing down away from the ears. Maybe the right ear rocks over toward right shoulder just a little bit. And rolling through the center. Left ear toward left shoulder. And back through the center. Take 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Settling back, child pose, or down dog. Let's begin to walk ourselves up toward the top of the mat. Taking your time to get there, no rush. When you are there, we're relaxing the spine. It's very heavy, getting pulled down toward gravity. With our next inhale, we begin to float the arms through the side, stretch up, arch back, hands to the heart. If you need an extra breath or two, just pause, making sure the head has enough blood. Remember, inhale, taking freshness in, that new part of who we are. Exhale, releasing that old identity. Realizing this is a cycle. We don't have to attach ourselves to it. Another good inhale. Exhale. We're going to work our way toward a balancing figure 4 pose. So our right foot is going to be what we balance on. Start to spread those toes wide, creating a good solid base. From here, we bend that right knee just a little bit, creating a little shelf for the left ankle to come onto. Now, some people may need to be close to a wall for this. That's absolutely fine. Maybe grab a chair. With the left ankle up, we're going to start sitting our hips back. Remember this cue, the right knee never goes past the right toes as you're gazing down. So instead, the hips sit back. Start perhaps with hands resting on that left knee and left ankle. And maybe perhaps imagine that you could fold yourself even further forward. So again, instead of making the spine the sacrifice, having to hold your whole weight up, start to drop down to elbows, supporting the spine. Maybe fingertips down toward block. Maybe fingertips down toward floor. Sitting the hips back even further. It's almost like we really want to sit onto a chair right now. It's like, where is the chair? I don't feel it yet. Okay, now we're going to drop these left toes, crossing that left foot in front of the right foot. The pinky toes are close to one another. We're working at this back leg, the right leg towards straight, but never hyperextending. If you have that tendency toward hyperextension, instead force a little bit of a bend. If you can't reach the floor easily, use that block. And from here, just a few more breaths simply downward. Letting left hand stay down, right hand twist up to the sky. Switching it out, right hand down, left hand floats. Good, dropping the hand down, uncross the feet, bend the knees to roll our spine all the way up, circling up to the sky, arch back. Hands to the heart, an extra breath or two. Second side, left foot has those toes reaching outward, feeling spread and grounded. Right ankle comes up onto this left thigh. And we begin to sit the hips back. Remember, left knee doesn't go past toes. Set the hips further, maybe dropping the hands down, maybe down to elbows. Maybe scooting the block in for fingers down. Maybe the floor is accessible. Keep on sitting the hips lower. This helps to open that right hip even further. And then drop it down, crossing right foot in front of left. Straightening the back leg without hyperextending. Relax the torso downward. Left hand floats up to the sky. And switch it out. Good. Hand drops down, uncross the feet, bend the knees to roll up, and then circle the hands up, arch back, hands to the heart. An extra breath. Another good inhale. Exhale, try to sit right back into the left thigh, lifting up. Sit back. Just another moment. Standing with this right leg back up. Let this left knee float up. Pick it back through warrior 3. Land those toes. And from here, we start to rotate the back heel down for in warrior 1. Hands swing up to the sky. Front knee is bending nice and strong. From here, dropping the right hand down, close to the right glute. Lean the left hand up and over toward that right side. Rising back up, the right hand lifts up, inhale. Exhale, rotate, open, warrior two. From here, the front fingers go down, all the way to the knee, or maybe all the way to the ground. And then this left arm stretches up and over that side body knee. You can just circle your way back up to warrior two, and then drop backwards. The back fingers drop down, and we're circling up and back this time. That knee is still bent. Beautiful. Returning through this warrior two shape. From here, this is kind of a challenge. We're going to see if we can balance forward up at the top of the mat, bringing that left knee to float, hands to the heart. See if you can just aim it toward that balance. If you made it, we're going to then take this left ankle up on the right thigh and start to sit back one more time like that figure four chair. Start to sit all the way back. Maybe elbows down. Maybe hands to the block, hands to the floor. Feeling this deep, deep reach all the way downward. This time when we release this foot down, we're bringing both feet about as wide as the mat. They're not crossed. And from here, we start to walk our fingertips over toward this right edge of the mat, even off that right edge of the mat, and then bend this right knee. This helps to shift us to stretch that left side hip even deeper. Left hand circles through the side to stretch up to the sky. And when it circles down, we straighten both legs. Our torso is back through the center. Hands off this left edge of the mat, bending the left knee, sink into that right hip. Right hand circles through the side and up to reach at the sky. And back down, both legs straightening. Bend the knees. Roll our way up to stand. Once we're up, circle the arms to the side, stretch up, arch back. Hands at the heart. Take an extra 2 breaths or so. Good. Second side. Left foot is the base. Right ankle comes up to the thigh. Sit back, not going quite all the way to the ground, just that nice halfway balance spot. Another inhale. Exhale, we're standing through that left leg, the right knee floats. Try to find the balance. Picking that right leg back through warrior three. Land the toes, land the heel. Circle the arms up to the sky, warrior one. Left hand drops down, so that right hand can lean up and over toward that left side of the mat. Good. Circling back up, inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, rotate open, warrior two. Front fingers down, either to thigh or to floor. Stretch up and over for that reach. Rise and reverse. Good. Rising back up. This is that last little balance challenge. We're going to try to stand on this left foot, bringing the right knee up toward the top of the mat. Good. Once you're here, take the right ankle up onto left thigh. This time we're doing the full sit back. all the way back, glutes down, maybe elbows down, hands maybe to block or maybe to floor. Releasing the feet down. They're stepping wide as the mat. Hands walk off the right edge of the mat, bend the right knee, straight left leg. Circle the left hand through the side, all the way up. And when it drops down, we're back through the center. Both hands walk off that left edge of the mat. Bend the left knee. Circle the right hand through the side, stretch up. And dropping down, two straight legs. Inhale, float halfway up, long spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step, walk, or jump, all the way to plank or kneeling plank. Slow motion, lower all the way down to the ground. From here, right arm reaches directly off to the right. We start to press into the left hand. This left knee rotates back behind us to plant. And once we're here, we start to try dropping the head down to rest. Essentially, we're stretching through that right shoulder, nice and deep. Good, returning the hips back down, second side. Left arm to the left, right hand under right shoulder. We start to rotate the hips open, planting the right foot behind us. And we're in this nice left shoulder stretch now. Good, returning back down onto the belly. Press up, a moment with a back bend. And sitting the hips back, a moment through child pose. Up to all fours, right arm reaches up to the sky. And thread that right shoulder all the way under and through, trying to set it down. Left hand can wind around the back or simply extend forward. Slide that left hand in, press into it to rise. Second side right away, left hand up to the sky. Thread it under and through, stretching through the shoulder. Right hand can wind around the back or walk up to the top of the mat. Good. Slide the hands in, press up, take a moment with a nice cat. Release with that cow. Good. Sitting down onto your glutes. You can keep the feet planted as we roll down onto our backs. Once we've released all the way down, we take this last chance to do that figure four stretch. So right ankle comes up onto left thigh, hands thread around that left side. We begin to pull it inward as deep as we can go. Notice how right at this moment, the right hip is in external rotation. So in just a moment, we're doing a counter stretch, bringing it into internal rotation. Take another good inhale. Exhale, let it go, non-clinging. Hands release, feet plant as wide as the mat, both knees fall to the left. This brings this right thigh into internal rotation. You can take it slightly deeper by left ankle rising to rest on that right thigh. Inhale. Exhale, Aparigraha, release. Knees come back upright, left leg floats up, ankle resting on right thigh. 10th thread around right side, pulling it in. One last hip opener. Enjoy another huge inhale. And exhale, planting your feet as wide as the mat, both knees fall rightward. Maybe right ankle comes up onto that left thigh. As we start to release, if you need a few more windshield wipers, that's fine. If you need a happy baby pose or just a normal twist, any little movements that you still would like for your body are absolutely fine. Keep on moving until your body is ready to completely relax into our final Shavasana pose. Whatever your Shavasana looks like today just depends on how your body feels at this moment in time. When you do feel ready to release into your Shavasana, we're letting our mind expand outward as if with our eyes closed, we might be able to see a glimpse of who we truly are when you take away all of our identities, everything that we've claimed that we are throughout our whole life. Start to take that away and see if you can get a sense of that bigger feeling of who you are. So with our breath flowing in and out, and with this opening to our own presence to lead us into our Shavasana, we find ourselves relaxing and breathing now. Deepen your exhales. Introduce little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. And eventually rolling over to a nice fetal position on one side. Take another 2, maybe 3 good deep breaths until you're ready to rise up to a comfortable seated place. As we find ourselves rising up, we join our hands together in front of the heart. And we take a few breaths, just breathing in this presence of who we are, breathing in any awarenesses we may have recently discovered. Take a few breaths all the way down into the belly and out. In and out. One of the benefits of this COVID-19 is that it is shifting things for a lot of people. People that once were, say, workaholics or once considered themselves having worked in a certain job may find themselves all of a sudden in a very different life situation, unemployed or other types of things. And so life changes, and anything that we attach ourselves to will change. And so that's what this goal of Aparigraha is, not putting so much energy into that ego attachment of who we are, rather opening up to what's beyond that, this thing that we can't really define, but sometimes we can get a little sense of or a little glimpse of. Trying to become more accustomed to that deeper part of us that cannot be defined, that is infinite. And so with this wonderful idea to help lead us into this fantastic week, let's wrap up this time we got to share together with the sound of Om. Inhaling now. Om. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.